Welcome to the Payback Team Training Call. We are at the end of the year, and what happens at the end of the year other than everybody buying Christmas gifts and seeing Santa Claus and sitting on Santa Claus's lap? Well, we start to prepare for the next year. And sometimes people think this is a little bit too late to start preparing. A lot of times people start preparing and big businesses start preparing in the fourth quarter of the year to determine what they're going to do next year. So if you haven't done that already, this is last minute, no big deal. We're still on track to do whatever we need to do to prepare for 2026, to make 2026 the best year ever. Now, if you see this video and it's 2028, it's still going to apply for the next year. It doesn't matter. All the principles are going to be the same. What's really cool though, in the time that we're living, when I was 20 years old, that was a long time ago, by the way, we did not have the technology that we have today. And due to the technology that we have today, it kind of makes our life a little bit easier. It simplifies things. It helps us accomplish things in a lot efficient, more faster way. So I would say that if I were to create some goals 20 years ago, 30 years ago even, I would sit down and I would probably take a day, maybe 2 days, maybe a week to think out exactly what I need to do in order to achieve my goals in 2026. Now what we can do is we can use tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude to put prompts in there, put questions in there, put things in there to get that tool to start producing some ideas for us to help us achieve our goals in 2026. So one of the things that I did was I went to Perplexity. I love Perplexity. Perplexity is one of my favorite chatbots. It's just really cool. It searches really deeply and it provides links to the places where it searches. There's some other things that it does. I don't know why. I just like it over ChatGPT, but I do. So one of the things that I did was I searched, okay, what are the top individuals in the United States that are some very, very successful people, and how do they set their goals? What do they do in order to set their goals to become better that next year, to become better in the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What do they think about? And, the reality of it is if you want to know about it, you're not going to go ask a mechanic about his, the diamond ring. The sparkly things in the diamond. I don't know anything about diamond rings, by the way. Just ask my wife. But I don't even know what you would ask about. But you wouldn't go to a mechanic to ask any questions about a diamond ring. You would go to a jeweler that specializes in diamond rings. So that's kind of what I used Perplexity for at first, was to find out what are the top producers, what are the top people in any type of business do. And so it brought up a few different people that you probably have heard of before. Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, Arnie. And so it kind of pulled out a theme. And I'm going to read some of this to you because I think it's pretty cool and we can use it to help us in creating our goals. And at the end of this video, at the end of this training, I'm going to share with you a prompt that you can change it. I'll show you how to use it. You can change it. You can use it as it is. It works great. It's how I did my goals for next year right here. Printed it, laid it all out for me, and all I had to do is print it out. But I'm going to show you how to use it, and you can plug it in, and it will ask you questions, and then at the end, it'll lay out a whole plan for you for 2026. And it'll take you about an hour to do it, okay? So some of the common themes that all of these people, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Arnold Schwarzenegger have in common is about 5 different things. One of them, they all have a clear vision of the future, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger says, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a vision, you just drift around and you're not going to be happy, okay? Here's another common thing: written goals and ruthless focus. Warren Buffett has a 2-list method. What he does is he writes down his top 25 goals out of everything he wants to accomplish. No prejudice. He writes everything down, physically, mentally, spiritually, and for him, I'm sure, big business, financially, right? And what he does is out of 25 goals, he takes the top 5 goals and that goes on his next list. And guess what he does with the other 20 goals? They're gone. He wipes them out. And he says, don't focus on them at all because they're just going to dilute your focus. You just focus on the 5 main goals that you chose, and that's your focus for the next year. The other one is intention and meaning. Oprah runs her entire company on one question: what is my truest intention on every project? So she says every project must have a clearly stated intention or it doesn't get done. It has to have a purpose behind it. What is the intention behind this? And it has to be clear. And the meaning behind that intention has to be true, right? It has to be something that is going to attribute to her goals. The fourth one is envisioning and scheduling. Tony Robbins says, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. If you schedule it, it's real. If you put it on your schedule, it's real. Where have you guys heard that before? I talk about putting stuff on our schedule all the time. And then the fifth one is discipline and daily fundamentals, okay? Writing down goals is one thing, right? That's just one thing. That is the end destination, right? But if we don't, think about it this way. What if you are dropped in a city where you have no idea and you're at the hotel and there's no cell phones? It's 1970 and first Walmart pops up. And you're like, I got to go to Walmart to get some of this and that and this and that. You have no idea where the Walmart is, right? So what are you going to do? You have choices. You can ask people for directions. You can get in your car and drive. But if you don't have a destination in mind, you're going to drive around forever trying to figure out where that Walmart is. The goals are the destination that you have to have in order to get there. Now, fast forward to 2025, we have GPS, we have cell phones. You don't have to know where anything is. You plug it in your cell phone and you have a destination. And guess what? That GPS device is going to create a clear path on how to get to that destination. If there's a detour in the way, it's going to route you around to the fastest detour. Now, take that to where we're at today. The goal is the Walmart in this situation. The destination is the things that you need to do every single day in order to keep your goals active. It takes time every single day. It has to be a number one priority in your life if you want to become better, if you want to become that new person, if you want to achieve your goals for 2026 and beyond. And if there's a detour in the way, let's say you're working on your goals and something comes up and it stops you, it blocks you. You got to figure out a way around it. What is the clear path around it? That's what the detour does on the GPS device. It's the same situation. Okay, so discipline and daily fundamentals. Jim Rohn says success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the nature consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals, doing the same thing over and over again. When you create your path, you create your system of where you're going to get to your goals, and you spend time doing that, next year, every single day when you work on your goals, you're going to find yourself, you'll look back a year from now on your goals and start checking things off. Yeah, I hit that one. I hit that one. I hit that one. I hit that one. The big 3 questions to start the year. Here's the big 3 questions that you have to have for every one of your goals. Vision. Where am I really going? What is the picture of my life in 3 to 5 years from now? Arnold calls this discover your vision and the rest will follow. Oprah calls it the highest vision possible for your life. If you look out past next year and look out 5 years from now, we're going to be in 2030, 5 years from now. That blows my mind. I remember 1990s like it was yesterday. We're already 5 years away from 2030. We are literally 13 months away from 2027. Time is flying. 5 years is going to come whether you set these goals or not. But if you take a little bit every day, just like you would take the time to look at your social media and watch what everybody else is doing, instead put the phone down and take some time for yourself, create some goals and create some positive habits that are going to help you. By the time you get to 2030, you'll be a new person. Okay. So 3 things: vision. Where am I going? Right. Number 2, intention. Why does it matter? This is Oprah's rule, right? What is my truest intention? You can think of it like this. Why do I want to sell more IUL or life insurance? Why do I want to recruit? Why do I want to build this agency? Those are some questions that create intention, right? The answers to that will help you understand the why behind everything. And then number 3, identity. Who am I becoming? What am I going to be in 2030? You can use Oprah's I am concept. Whatever follows I am eventually finds you, she says. Like, I am a multi-millionaire. I am a follower and disciple of God. I am the best husband I can be. I am the best father I can be. I am a professional closer. I am a protector of families. I am a world-class IUL strategist. Right? Those are positive identities that if they become you, think about it this way. You can always, a lot of people back in the day smoked, right? I remember getting on airplanes back in the early 90s, and people were smoking on airplanes. You walk into a restaurant, people would smoke, right? Now you walk up to somebody that has quit smoking, you can tell if they have really quit smoking or they haven't by their identity. You ask them, can I have a cigarette just to play the game? And if they say, no, I'm a non-smoker, they've changed their identity. They're now a non-smoker. But if they say, I quit smoking 2 weeks ago, they're still a smoker. They haven't changed their identity yet to a non-smoker. And so they're still a smoker. They just labeled themselves as I quit. So in their mind, what they're saying is I quit for now. What they have to do is change their identity to I'm a non-smoker. Now it's an identity of this is who I am and I'm never going back, right? I'm a multi-millionaire. That's my identity, right? And that's an identity that can serve you. And your brain will start to automatically create neural pathways and find ways to be able to put that into place because you'll start to believe it, okay? Okay. How elite achievers actually set their goals. Here's a few steps. Create a clear written vision 3 to 5 years out. Okay, this combines Arnie's, Oprah's, and Tony's turn invisible into visible. Here's what you can do. Here's an identity statement that you can say every day. This is really a super easy one. I'm going to copy it and paste it. This is one that I came up with, but you guys can use it, tweak it. I'm going to put it in the chat right here. Where is my chat? Oh, duh. So here's what it is. It is December 1st, 2028. I lead a team of 100 active agents. I personally write 10 IULs policies per month. My annual income is 1.2 million. And I take my family to Cancun 4 times a year. I am known as the go-to person for tax-efficient strategies in my market. You can put that on your wall. You can put that on your phone. You can put that as a background on your phone. You can put that anywhere all day long. You see it, read it. How long does it take to read that? Especially once you get it down in your mind, it takes 10 seconds. Then you don't even have to read it. You can literally think it. If you're about to, let's say you're bored for 15 minutes, what do people do? They pick up their phone, right? Instead of doing that, don't pick up your phone, just read that affirmation right there. When that starts to become boiled into your brain, all of a sudden you now start to attract those things into your life. You start to do the things that you once thought were impossible. Step 2, Buffett's 2 lists for the year, right? Write down 25 possible goals for the year, circle the top 5, make the remaining 20 avoidable at all costs. Just tear up the list. Make all those 5 goals your number one focus. Doesn't mean the other 20 are not goals. You're just going to focus on them after you've gotten to the 5, because then you're going to do the list again. Next year, after you've beaten your 5, now you create a whole nother list and move those 20 over to the, I don't want to do these, I'm done, I'm avoiding them from right now, and then make the next 5 your top. Okay, here's an example. Protect 120 families this year. That's 10 per month with life insurance or an IUL and an IUL. Generate 30 booked appointments per week consistently by April 1st. Recruit and train 5 producing agents by year end or per month, whatever flips your bubble. Okay, attach a deep why to each goal. This is coming from Jim Rohn and Oprah, right? This is what they do. After each goal, write down these 3 questions. Why is this goal significant to me? Why is this goal significant to me? Who benefits if I hit this goal? After every goal, what pain will I experience if I don't? People move because of pain. People do things because of pain. They do things because of pleasure as well, but they're more likely to move. Let me put it this way. There's actually a statistic. They're 70% more likely to move and do the thing that they need to do if there's pain involved. They're 30% more likely to move if there's pressure or pleasure involved. And then number 4, daily practices, writing, journaling, write down your thoughts for the day, meditation, vision boards. These are all things that can encompass what your goals are. The whole goal here is to become that person that you're not. Become that person that you want to be in the future. So you have to start thinking about it to become it. So if writing, all the greats either explicitly or implicitly use writing. Buffett literally writes lists and letters. His 2 lists are written, he says. Rohn constantly preached written goals and written plans. Tony Robbins uses writing, planning, a written planning system for outcomes, purposes, and massive action plans. Okay, so here's 3 steps. This should take you like 2 to 3 minutes every morning. This is not going to take long whatsoever, okay? Number 1 is daily goal rewrite. Number 2, end of day wins. And number 3, quarterly review. Okay. And this is what I do. Every day, you're going to write down your goals for that day, your top 5 goals every single morning. Okay. I protect 10 families every month. I recruit 1 strong new agent every week. I earn 1.2 million this year by delivering massive value, right? Those are some affirmations that you can write down. That's 3 of them, but you can write down 5. Okay, this becomes your identity when you do this. Read it, see it, hear it, feel it. Use all of your senses. End of day wins. Write 3 wins from each day and then write 1 lesson that you need to improve on. A lot of times in the morning, I meditate. I'm going to get into that here in a minute. Well, let me finish this and then I'll get into that. Quarterly review. No, I love quarterly reviews. Why? Because this is where you're going to reread your yearly vision, your 3 to 5 year vision, and then update your numbers and your timelines, right? Now, why do I love it? Because I get to go have a business meeting with my wife. We go out to lunch and all we do is we talk about our goals. I talk about business goals. She gets the deer in the headlights look. Because she's not as part of the business as much as I would like due to personal reasons and family reasons. But she does enjoy the business and she supports me. But we talk about business goals and then we also talk about our family goals together. Where we want to go on trips, what we want to do with our kids, what kind of summer camp we want to put them in, what kind of a baseball camp my son is going to be in. Those things that we can plan out. And we do that every quarter. That's only 4 times a year, right? But now we have a clear picture. And now when it's on the calendar, it's an intent. It's there. It's going to happen, right? So quarterly reviews are freaking awesome and fun. Okay. Meditation. Oprah consistently talks about getting still, listening, and aligning with intention before acting. Rowan and Robbins both emphasize managing state and inner world to execute their goals. Okay. So meditation is not about becoming a monk. Okay. It's there to help us and clear the mental clutter in our brains, and it helps you anchor intention. It helps you regulate your emotions, especially after you have a rough day, because in sales, you guys know, it's a roller coaster, right? I mean, they go in seasons. Sometimes days go in season, meaning at the beginning of the day, you could be having a phenomenal day. At the end of the day, you had 3 people cuss you out, right? Doesn't happen like that all the time. But that's a season in one day. You can have seasons in a week, in a month, in a year, right? It's just times that are not so good, right? Every year we have 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. We all know that winter is coming, so we can do like ants do and prepare, stock up, right? And we get ready. We put some extra money in our account to buy those leads and to keep our business going when winter comes. And when things go well, we still have to prepare for winter because we know winter is coming. The bad things are coming eventually, right? It's all about ups and downs, but our mind has to stay sharp and focused and an even keel all the time, knowing that today is like the best day of my life. Sometimes you can get this is going to be every day type of feeling. I'm going to love it. My whole world is like on fire right now. Nothing can ever go bad, but it doesn't always happen that way. You have to keep an even keel because knowing winter is still going to come, right? On those days or sometimes those weeks where it's like really, really bad. You had an unexpected bill pop up and now you got to find the money to pay it. And that leaves you short on this bill and then this bill. And all of a sudden the sales aren't going the way they used to, right? Because our mindset, our thinking is stinking, right? So we got to remember that tomorrow's a new day and the weeks are going to come. Okay. So where am I at here in my notes? Okay. So here we go. Meditation. Every morning and every night I meditate, and sometimes during the day. I'd say probably about 2 to 3 times a week, even during the day, I meditate. Why? Because I want to get into that relaxed state so that I can literally create and program my mind. And the best way to program my mind is in between that state of sleep and alertness. That transition part right there is the best time to program your mind. Now, in the morning, when I first wake up, that's the hardest time to do it, but I still do it. And I use an app called Endel. Endel has a lot of sounds and tones and relaxing meditation sounds. And I'll send you guys a link here and I'll put it down below for the video. But you guys can go into Endel, listen to those tones, and it will put you in a meditation state like you wouldn't believe. And here's the deal. In the morning, when I first wake up, my alarm goes off and I hit snooze. I do it on purpose because now, as soon as I hit snooze, I reach over to my phone and I turn on Endel. Endel now starts playing some tones, relaxing tones that'll eventually wake me up. But here's the most important part. This is right now, I'm just waking up. I just came into a little bit of alertness and I'm now going to start creating my day and my future. And I start programming my mind. I'm quiet. I'm already relaxed. And I start saying affirmations like what we were talking about. I'm a broker that helps 10 families a month, 10 families a week with IULs. I'm so happy today. Today is the best day of my life. I'm so happy to make $100,000 a month. I'm so happy to make $500,000 a month. I start to visualize what I want my house to be 5 years from now, what I want my life to be 5 years from now. When my kids are 5 years older, I start to visualize what kind of cars I'm driving. I try to smell the leather of the car that I want to drive. I try to smell the new paint smell of the house that I just painted to make the house the way it is, the way I want it to be. The colors, the shapes, the area, the boat that I want to have on the lake, right? All of these things. I visualize no debt whatsoever. House is paid off. I have hundreds of thousands in the bank, right? I visualize that in the morning and then also when I go to bed. When I go to bed, same process. I go to bed about 30 minutes before I actually want to go to sleep. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Nobody's perfect, right? But that's okay. But we can try to be perfect the next day. We can do the best we can. And so I go to bed, I try to go to bed half an hour before I want to go to sleep, and I hit Endel. And I start listening to the sleep tone, and it just slowly puts me to sleep. But I'm going through those affirmations. But now I'm also thanking God for the day. I'm also thinking about my day as well, and thanking God for 3 to 5 things in my day that was a blessing. Even if I had a bad day, we can always find blessings in our day. And then I'm also thinking about the things that I can improve on, things that I can do better the next day. Maybe I said something to my son that I wish I would have never said. Maybe I didn't do something for my wife that I could have done that would have helped her out, right? So I think about those things, and then I start to create my day for the next day. I start to think about the future, what I want to have a year from now, where I want to be on 12/31/26, where I want to be on 12/31/2030, right? What kind of future we're going to have, what kind of problems we might have, but how many blessings we're going to receive from those problems, right? So that's kind of how I meditate. And then a lot of times I actually have a massage chair here in my house that I bought on Facebook, and it was super cheap. It wasn't brand new, but it works great. There's nothing wrong with it. And it was just a little heavy. That was the problem. That's the biggest ordeal of it. It was a little heavy bringing it in the house, right? But it's in my house. So now if I need a refresher in between appointments, I'll literally go sit in the massage chair and I'll put it on a 20-minute timer, turn on Endel, and I'm meditating. I'm creating the rest of my day. If I had a hard time during my day, maybe I got in an argument with my son about his homework, right? Who doesn't do that? Nobody's perfect, right? And so then I'll go sit in the chair, and for 20 minutes, I meditate and I create my day of the way I want it to go. And all of a sudden, it's like a new day, like it all started over again. And it's helped me out a lot. The next one is vision boards. Tony Robbins says this: if you talk about it, well, we already talked about it. It's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. If you schedule it, it's real. Okay. So create a tangible board with images of it, of different stuff, things that you want, like your bank balance in 5 years from now, debt free, a statement showing a debt free, no loans, no nothing, the type of car you want to have, the type of home you want to have, vacations. Vision boards are awesome. And happy clients, families protected. How many families do you want to protect over the course of the year? Team of agents. You can put on words like closer, I'm a protector, I'm a leader, right? You can create, you can put on there 120 policies. If your goal is to sell 10 policies a month, you can put 120 policies. That's 10 policies a month for a year. And put a picture of a team that is, has enough agents on there that you want to be, that you want on your team. So the way to use this is to put it in places where you're going to see it. Put it in a doorway, put it on a wall, put it in your bedroom, first thing you see when you wake up, and put it in a spot, put it in the mirror, put it in the bathroom when you're brushing your teeth, combing your hair, right? I don't have to worry about the hair part, but you can literally put it on the actual mirror, and every day when you look in the mirror, you're looking at the vision board or on the side of it. And that's what you want to do. When you look at the vision board, just don't glance at it and know that, oh, well, that's there. Look at it. and picture it, envision it in your mind. Man, that's going to happen. It's coming along. It's going to happen. Then here's step 5, converting vision into a concrete plan, right? So phase 1 is design. Put your 3 to 5 year vision in place. You can use Buffett's 25-5 rule, but what we're going to do, scratch that. Actually, what I'm going to do here now, okay, let me do this. I created a prompt here that you can literally, and I'm going to put this prompt in the chat, and then you can copy it and paste it and use it in Perplexity or whatever you want. So let me share my screen here. So look, here's Perplexity, right? And actually they now have a browser called Comment. I'm not a sponsor for them at all, but they're one of my favorite AI bots. So they have this button here called Deep Focus or Deep Research. You can hit that button. They give you, this is a free account, by the way. It doesn't even cost me anything. And they'll give you free 3 deep researches per day. Okay. But you don't necessarily need that all the time. You can just take this prompt and put it in here and literally hit the button. And I even accidentally put in the copy and paste. And right here, now it's going to start pulling up all the questions that it needs you to know, or it needs to know to be able to create your plan. And so what you're going to do is now, it says, ask me, here's a well-designed goal-setting prompt, blah, 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 blah. Now you're just going to go through and answer these questions. And you can do it any way you want to. You can hit this button and just talk to it and say, my answer to number 1 is my average commission is $10,000 a sale. The answer to number 2, the sales per month I want to close in 2026 is 10 IULs. And just start talking to it. Or you can type it in and go on and then answer it that way. Just type it in and just put it in a paragraph. It doesn't have to be in any certain format. And then at the end, once you do that, when all the answers are in, after I respond to these 15 questions, create the following summaries. Then it's going to create all of these for you. And it's going to be interesting when you pull it up, because now you're going to have an action plan and you can read it every day. And here's mine. I mean, mine is 2 pages long right here. I can go through and read this in 1 minute a day. 1 minute. 1 minute to help me remember what my goals are that I set for the year. And you can play along with this, right? You can change the question. Where's my notes here? And by the way, here's ChatGPT. You can go into ChatGPT and do the same thing. Just plug it in here. This is the most advanced model right here, OpenAI ChatGPT, and then hit the button. And then it'll start creating the questions right here, okay? Oops. And then once you answer these, it will design a plan for you. But these are all the questions that you have. You can add a question in here if you want to change something. Maybe you want to go out 10 years. You can change that to 2040. You can, I don't know, I've added in every question that I could possibly think about, so I don't know what to add in anymore. But if you wanted to add more in here, you definitely could, and it will help you create the plan. Once you're done with this and it creates the plan, you can have it tweak it a little bit and say, give me more detail on the 5 top priorities. Give me a more detailed next steps action plan. Provide me examples of some vision boards, okay? For the vision board paragraph, it's going to also, by the way, create a paragraph that is going to be a prompt that you can take that and put it into ChatGPT and have it draw you a vision board. That's kind of cool. So there's some things there that you can do to help do that. This is the end of the year. What I like to do, New Year's Day is probably one of the most boringest days in America, in my opinion. And on New Year's Day, we don't really do much. not too many. There's a lot of places that are not open. And so what I like to do on New Year's Day is gather together as a family, get a huge poster board, get a bunch of magazines and newspapers that we don't use anymore. Sometimes I'll go to the library and say, hey, do you have any magazines that you guys don't want anymore? And they'll give me a whole box of them a lot of times. And then what we do is we literally just sit there at the table, put some music on, and create our vision boards for the future. It's a fun activity for kids, and they can use it, they can create it, they can use it, they can see it, and it helps them throughout the year because now it's in their room. And then it's fun to go back and do it the next year because then they look back and they say, wow, I did that. I did that. I did that. And then they start to realize that, oh, yeah, it's not if you believe it, if I see it, I'll believe it. It's more if I believe it, then I'll see it, right? So that's all I got for you guys. If you like this content, subscribe.